Welcome back, you guys.
Hi, everyone.
All right, you guys. So for today's cultural diversity activity, we'll be making our own bowls. Yes, out of paper mache,
and then we'll bowls. What kind of bowls?
We're gonna make Moroccan bowls. So we're basically gonna be painting Moroccan patterns on the bowls. But for now, we're just gonna show you how to get started. And in your kits, you have a balloon. Actually, I think you might have two just for safety. You have art paste or paper mache in this little box.
Very important.
Yes, and so the only thing you don't have in there is a measurement device and water, which you'll have to find on your own. You're gonna need a big bowl, one probably this size, and you're gonna need at least a half gallon of water, if not a whole gallon. So to measure a gallon of water, you're gonna need an empty milk carton or an empty water carton. Just make sure it says 1 gallon, and if you want to do half of the powder in this box, you only fill this up halfway. If you want to do the whole thing, you know, do a whole gallon and then put all of the powder in here.
You might not need all the powder to make one bowl, but if you want to make multiple, then you might need it.
Yes. And the cool thing about this process is it's the same process that you would follow to make your own piñata. So it's a cool little skill. Yeah. So I'm gonna just go ahead and pour a gallon of water. So we're doing a half a gallon.
Half a gallon with half the powder.
Half of what is in this bag. So this is about half of the bag already in there, and we're just gonna go ahead and mix. Whoa. So it's turning into a jelly-like consistency, and we found that it's better to use a fork or something with prongs on it to break apart the chunky pieces that haven't broken up yet.
Good.
All right, now we're gonna let it sit for 15 minutes and we'll be right back. Okay, so, all right, you guys, so it's been 15 minutes. So this thing is pretty gelled up. Yeah, so that's probably what's gonna hold together our paper mache. We're just gonna put the mess to the side a little bit.
It's very sticky.
Yes. And the next thing you're gonna do, or what you could do while your things dry up, is you're gonna take newspaper, which we put in your craft kit, and you'll notice that it was last year's Kids Day paper. So if you want to go ahead and read it before you rip it up, that'd be cool. But if not, it doesn't matter. It's okay. It's a good little walk down memory lane, especially with all the COVID stuff going on right now. But yes, it's important for you to rip these in strips. And the reason why we don't cut with scissors for this activity is because you're going to be overlapping the strips using the paper mache glue, I guess you could call it. And so when it's ripped on the edges, the strips hold on to each other better versus when you cut it, since the edge would have been so straight, they won't stick as easily. So you're just going to go ahead and rip a bunch of strips. The next step is to blow up our balloon. So I'm gonna go ahead and blow mine up first, so I can take off my mask, and then you can do yours after if you want to do. Well, let's do the same one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and blow up the balloon. And so here's where it gets a little tricky. So don't blow up your balloon too big. You don't want. Well, if you want a huge bowl, go ahead, but then you might need more newspaper, and there may not be enough in your craft kit. So keep your balloon relatively small, because however big the balloon is, that's how big your bowl is gonna be. Basically, our balloon is our mold. So give it a little tug, stretch it out, and then inflate. You'll notice that in your craft kit you have a cup. It's not for drinking, so please don't use it for that, especially because they're not packaged. They've been touched by our bare hands, so don't go drinking out of this. This is just to hold your balloon into place. So we're gonna put it over like so. And this is gonna be our mold. So we're gonna start with the bowl upside down, if that makes sense. So this is gonna be upside down. And basically, all you have to do is, it gets really messy, so if you have gloves at home or if you want to use them, it's okay. But you basically just dip your newspaper, remove the excess, you dip your newspaper into the paper mache, or into the mache part of the paper, and then you dip it, remove the excess, and you begin layering.
So you gotta like touch each other.
They do have to overlap, yes.
Okay.
And then we'll stop about right here.
Yeah.
And we'll just be. Alright you guys, so once again this craft is very messy, so try to do it outside or on top of a covered surface.
Yes.
And we've done our 3 layers, so the next thing to do is to let it dry for several hours. If you can do it overnight, then wait overnight. But it doesn't technically need overnight, it should be done in a few hours, so
yeah.
I'm gonna let it dry and we'll be
back.
Alright you guys, we're back and it's been the night that, or not 24 hours, but it's been like 14 hours or so, but this thing is pretty dry. So the next step we're gonna take is to pop it. So if you're afraid of balloons popping or you can't do it, ask an adult for help. Especially because you are gonna have to use a sharp object to get the balloon to pop. And yeah, we're gonna take it from here. I've got a pen. You ready?
Okay.
There you go. Wasn't too bad.
No.
And see, we got a perfect little bowl. So it looks like 3 layers is definitely enough, but if you want it to be, if you want it to be more sturdy, of course, do like as many as you would like. And so it's cool.
I've never done this before.
It's cool, huh?
It's so cool.
It's cool. So yeah, this is the cool thing about paper mache. Oh, the inside isn't completely dry because the balloon was in the way, but that's okay. We're gonna paint the outside, and then if we want to paint the inside, we can do it later. But for the video, we're just gonna do the outside. And you'll notice that there's these rough little edges. You can leave them there if you think they're cute. I want to smooth them out because I do want to imitate Moroccan art, and their bowls are usually smooth on the edge. And speaking of Moroccan art, I have a little section to read from an article that I found online.
Wow.
And it's from gatewaytomorocco.com. It says, Moroccan culture and arts. Moroccan culture and arts emerged through a wide set of influences, including not only North African, Mediterranean, and French colonial sources, but also Pan-African, Indian, contemporary Italian, and Swedish design to create a style of living at once global and distinctively local. Today, the emergence of a new approach to architecture, blending craft, interior design, and cuisine has given birth to what we call an architectural revolution, spearheaded by a growing community of local and international designers, hoteliers, and chefs de cuisine. So basically, there's a lot of art culture in Morocco, so that's pretty cool. And I'm definitely gonna try to imitate the patterns that they.
Do you have some inspo pics?
Yes, I do have some inspo pics, and those we'll add them to the video so you can see what we are inspired by. All right, you guys, this is as far as we're going with our little Moroccan bowl. So yeah, hope you guys are inspired by our little patterns, and hopefully you'll think of your own. All right, you guys, we'll see you next time.
Bye.